We are the keys to opening any door that we want. Have you ever heard of someone saying that they felt like there was an angel who approached them about something and just magically unlocked something new in their life? I had that experience with a woman who pretty much completely changed my perspective of the term Open Sesame. This woman's story and the message that she gave to me is so incredibly powerful and uplifting and just all around magical. I met her at our local crystal store. We started talking and just immediately connected. Like, you know, when you connect to someone on such a deep level that you can have an insane conversation and it seems like you've known each other forever. So we were talking about, you know, crystals and how, like, she was saying how, like, you don't actually have to charge them if you get into, like, the right energetic space, that it's a constant, like, vortex of you charging the crystal charging you, and it's a cyclical thing. It just keeps going and going and going because your energy is always there and the crystal's energy is always there. So we started off talking about that. You know, when I find someone who's so into spirituality like that, I always ask them, what got you into spirituality? I love hearing people's stories behind what got them into spirituality because it's always something so profound and something so meaningful. So I asked her, you know, what got you into spirituality? And she started off talking about how she was always kind of into spirituality, but like not super into it. And then her dad died suddenly in a car crash like a few years ago. So I was trying to kind of be this loving space for her to share her story and receive, you know, that whatever feeling she had about that. And then she started talking about how her husband passed away from COVID. So she lost two extremely important people in her life very recently, you know, within kind of a short time span. And when you hear that, you expect people to be sad, right? Or at least that was my expectation. I thought she was going to tell me this and it was going to be kind of a sad story for her. So I was preparing myself to be this loving, caring person, you know, to kind of assist her in her healing journey, right? But she didn't need that at all. She had the most amazing response to that situation that I have ever seen in my entire life. It's almost like she transmuted this energy, or the universe helped her transmute this energy to create a powerful, beautiful life out of her situation. Like, my voice probably sounds like I'm cracking because I just can't imagine losing two people sorry, I'm like literally about to cry. I can't imagine losing two people that close to me that in that short of a time span and getting through it, you know what I mean? And she did it, and she just had this magical aura to her. She said after her husband passed away, blessings after blessings after blessings started coming to her, and I was so confused the whole time she was talking because I'm like, how are you allowing blessings when you just lost someone so important to you? And one of the last things she said, I'm gonna leave you with this. My husband always said, "Open Sesame." Except instead of saying "Open Sesame," he said "Open Sesame," meaning that we are the keys to opening any door that we want. Anything. Any door that we want to open, we have the power. We have the key to open that door. It made me so speechless to hear that. Like, even recounting the story, I can barely get my words out because even though "Open Sesame" sounds like, okay, you know, open says me, but like when you hear her story and you hear about she's getting all of these blessings after something so tragic happened, and it's because she transmuted the energy of the loss. that is a huge amount of energy. And if you transmute that energy, you can create something so powerful, so magical, so amazing from it. You just have to let yourself be the key to that transformation. And when I talk to her, so I've been kind of going through the past few months, I'm really into spirituality. I love spirituality, but the past few months I found myself not as drawn to it. I found myself more drawn to the physical side of life, the earthly side, job, learning, education, hanging out with people, socializing. I found myself really more drawn to work in that space rather than work in the mental and the spiritual space. And I totally allowed myself that freedom because I don't ever want to force anything in my life. I want it all to unfold as magically as it should. And I really believe we're on Earth for a reason, and Earth is an awesome place to explore and have fun and learn and create your life, right? So I was doing that. But before this woman came along, I was ready. I was ready to get back into spirituality, and I just didn't feel that next step. When you feel in alignment and you feel connected. I didn't quite feel that just yet. I knew I was like on the edge of it. And she came and it was like, boom, doors open, you are back. Like, the world is yours for the taking. She came at the most perfect time ever between my spirituality stuff. And that weekend that I met her, I had to decide between two potential options. One option had a lot of learning potential, a lot of growth, a lot of, I could see a big future with that option. However, that option contained a lot of risk that I did not want to happen. I did not want to wager that risk for the potential benefit. The other option was more unknown. I would have had to wait a little bit longer for that to unfold, but it had like almost no risk or very little risk. And so I kind of really wanted this, but there were a lot of things that I was scared of and risk that I did not want. And so I met this woman who says, "Open Sesame," right? So I'm like, okay, no risk. I want this, but I don't want the risk. I was totally ready, 100% to walk away. And then suddenly, this big, beautiful opportunity that carried risk, suddenly all of the risk just like magically went away. And that's when I was like, that's right, bitch, open sesame. And it was crazy, like the way it played out, like everyone that I told was just like shook that it happened the way that I wanted it to happen. And it took me being ready to be like, no. And sometimes it takes that in life, in opportunity. It takes, you being ready to walk away for it to actually be like, okay, we'll give you what you want, There are really powerful, magical people in this world. And, I don't know if she was actually an angel presenting herself as to me as a human, but her message was angelic. Her message was powerful. And if you just allow yourself to explore people and their history and their stories and their messages that they have to share with you, like, you're really gonna find like this cool life in front of you. You're gonna find ideas that you wouldn't have thought of on your own, And that's what life is. Life is a giant consciousness. We are all consciousnesses interacting with each other. It's like that saying, 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2, it actually equals 3, because you get to create something new out of the two minds. And that's exactly what this story was. And I just am so happy that I got to experience that, and I'm really hoping that you guys get a similar meaning out of that story. Definitely share with me if you have any really cool stories like that. If someone has told you a message that has lasted with you forever, please leave that in the comments below, or you can even DM me it if you wanted to share it and don't want it to be super public, because I love listening to people's stories, if you can't tell by this video. And I really, really, really appreciate every individual person and their mind and their consciousness and their being. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope this story had a powerful impact on you as it did me. My words are slipping away. It's time for me to go. All right, bye.